The average salary of an Indian CEO in 2010 was around 3 crore to 4 crore rupees. The average salary of a fresher back then was around 3.5 to 4 lakh rupees. Fast forward to 2025, the average salary of a CEO is a whopping 45 to 50 crore rupees. But the salary of a fresher? Well, it's still stuck around the 4 lakh rupee mark. But why? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down in this episode of FinShots TV, so don't forget to like, share and subscribe. FinShots TV is now a part of Zerodha's 01 network and we plan on bringing you such interesting stories every week. So don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Let's take it from the top. Over the last 15 years, India's CEOs have seen their salaries go up more than 10 times. And this trend is active across sectors. It's not just limited to a single sector. Let's just take the example of the Indian IT sector. The median CEO salary in 2012 in the IT sector was around 3 crore rupees. But in 2025, the salaries of the same CEOs will blow your minds. Salil Parekh, the CEO of Infosys, made 80 crores. C. Vijay Kumar, the CEO of HCL Tech, took home around 84 crore rupees. Wipro CEO Thierry Delaporte's annual salary was around 166 crore rupees, and when he resigned, a new CEO came in, Srinivas Pillai, whose salary is 54 crore rupees. K. Krithivasan, the CEO of TCS, made around 26.5 crore rupees. All these fat paychecks, while salaries of freshers have barely moved. Data from Money Control shows that fresher salaries have remained in the 2.5 to 3.5 lakh range in the past 15 years. And that is not just limited to the Indian IT sector. It's the same story across banking, FMCG, retail, media, and even manufacturing. If CEO pay is booming across the board, why hasn't this growth trickled down to freshers and other employees? Well, to understand that, we actually spoke to an expert.
Earlier, most of a CEO's pay was fixed, a base salary and some performance bonus. But today, a significant portion, in many cases, is variable and often tied to companies' stock performance. So we began seeing a rise in LTIs, long-term incentives like stock options, RSUs or performance shares.
Let's try to break this down. Back in early 2000 and even up to 2010, most Indian CEOs were paid like regular employees. A fat monthly check, maybe some bonus, and that's about it. But over time, a new idea took over corporate India. If the CEO is responsible for building the long-term shareholder value, then their pay should also depend on the value of that share, right? So companies began shifting to something called a performance-linked pay structure. Now, instead of just a salary, the CEO's package comes in layers. There's a fixed pay, which is the base monthly pay. Then there's a bonus, which is yearly payout. Then there's LTI, which is linked to long-term incentives that's typically in the form of stocks. And then there's other perks and benefits, club membership, chauffeurs, even houses, etc. Well, that's because the CEO's salary is decided by the board of directors. Specifically, this is done through something called the Nomination and Remuneration Committee or the NRC. These are the ones who design the CEO's compensation package. How much fixed salary, how much bonus, how much stock options, etc. etc. But the thing is, in many Indian companies, the board is not truly independent. In fact, it's often filled with people handpicked by the promoters, the very people who benefit the most when the company's stock price goes up. So here's what happens. You get a system where the people setting the CEO's salary also have vested interest in juicing up the stock price. And the easiest way to do that is to tie the CEO's rewards to the stock. This way, the CEO has every reason to drive short-term share price gains, even if it means cutting costs or not passing down the benefits to other employees. In theory, this system aligns incentives, but in practice, it often leads to a winner-take-all structure where value flows upwards and salaries at the bottom stay frozen for a long period of time. This is why many governance experts say that India has a boardroom problem, not just a salary-related problem. Because if the people deciding the CEO pay are themselves incentivized by the stock options, who is going to look out for people in the lower rungs like the freshers? But there's an argument that can be made in favor of such extravagant pay as well.
At the CEO level, you are not just hiring for skills, you are hiring for judgment under uncertainty, for crisis navigation, for the ability to build strategy and culture simultaneously. These are capabilities that take decades to develop. On the other hand, the entry-level job market looks very different. Every year, we add millions of graduates to the talent pool. Many of these young professionals don't enter with job-ready skills. So companies are spending heavily on internal training.
This sort of sounds logical, and there's numbers to back this up too. Each year, India produces over 10 lakh engineers. Add to this graduates from business school, design institutes, liberal arts colleges, and other upskilling platforms. You are staring at a massive pipeline of entry-level white-collar workers. But how many CEOs even exist with proper experience of operating a huge organization? A few thousand at best? So while CEO salaries have exploded, fresher salaries have remained in the 3 to 4 lakh rupee mark. This is not just because of performance, but also because of the fact that CEO talent is rare. It's a completely skewed supply-demand dynamics. There's a near infinite supply of freshers, but a tiny market for top talent executives. One is a commodity, the other is treated like a scarce asset. And in a capitalist system, scarcity always commands a premium. But here's where things are going to get worse. With the rise of AI, this gap is only going to grow wider because AI is not coming for the CEO's job, it's coming for the fresher's job. And these will be the first jobs to go away. Basic coding, data entering, copywriting, research assistance, customer support, etc. The exact roles that companies traditionally used to onboard freshers and train them up. In fact, many IT companies have already slowed down hiring, and this is the same trend across other sectors. And India is also in a very unique problem. We are a youth-heavy economy. Over 65% Indians are under the age of 35, and we add millions to the job market every year. But in the age of AI, companies don't need more freshers. They need few more specialized AI-native employees. So you'll have lakhs of smart, motivated young Indians competing for fewer, lower-paying entry-level jobs. And this is the reality that India is going to face in the next few years. Do you think the wide gulf between the fresher and CEO salary is going to get worse in the age of AI? Let us know in the comments. See you on the other side.